It's on a sunrise like this that I question my decision-making sometimes. As I look upon the beauty of this game, of what's waiting for me in this vast universe, the opportunities, all the things that we could do. And yet I still decide to take a tinchy tiny shuttlecraft and bounty hunt with it. Why? What? Hello everyone, welcome back to Star Citizen. My name is Bru. You can call me Bru as always. And do we need to make any more of a video? Can I just leave it here as the sun rises, as I'm parked in my little awesome shuttlecraft? We can see the gas giant of Crusader rising in the sky behind us. The weather is perfect. Do we need to do any more? Do we really need to play anymore? Can we just get stuck on a rock and... There we go. Oh, crap. Fantastic. Fantastic. But... maybe... well... maybe you do want a bit more, and well, that's absolutely fine, and that's why I am here to deliver that little bit more for you. And that little bit more, well, is a bit of craziness today. We are taking out this little shuttle that you see here beside me. Let me do some camera resets. Oh, this game. We're taking out this little shuttle here, the C8X. The C8X Pisces is what we're taking out today. I've already done a video on it, but you can buy the C8X Pisces for 406,000 AUEC from ArcCorp, Area 18 on ArcCorp. I'm just zooming out here so you can get a bit of a look at it. Of course, the weather's starting to turn, and I'm just running all over the place. This little ship is awesome. It's something that you want to have in your hangar. I'm just doing a quick walk around of it so you can see it. We'll get a better look as we take off on it. I'll go over some of the base fundamentals of the ship. But today's episode is a can it bounty hunt against very high-risk targets. Well, it's actually very high-risk targets, VHRTs. This ship is not designed to do that. It's not what you should be doing with it. But I did take it out for a little practice flight before this video. And, well, it was interesting. Very, very interesting. The Pisces, as I say, beautiful ship. Just full of detail for such a small little ship. It's got one size 1 shield, the hull HP of a packet of crisps. It has 2 size 1 gimbaled weapons on the nose here that you can see. Let me just move the camera a bit so you don't see my armor. 2 size 1 gimbaled weapons on the nose. It has 2 size 1 fixed weapons on the wings. You can't change these fixed weapons to gimbals. I tried. If someone can figure out a way, let me know. You can't upgrade the front weapons to fixed size 2s by removing the gimbal. If you remove the gimbal, they're still fixed size 1s. So you could go all fixed if you want. The combination of fixed and gimbals can be distracting. You're going to see that today. But the gimbals do work well when you are utilize them. The fixed tend to lag behind a bit, but that's just probably my lack of skill as a pilot. So that is the roundup of this ship. This ship is designed to shuttle you between motherships, planets. It's got a great stock quantum, which we'll see in a second. Its maneuverability is good. Its top speed is relatively good. Its acceleration is good. Its hydrogen fuel is okay for a ship this size. It can actually have 2 jump seats for 2 pilots, so we're going to jump in and have a look at that now. As I say, there's a full walk-around video we've already done with this little ship. Amazing. The Anvil Pisces is amazing, but can it bounty hunt VHRT targets? Well, we're about to find out. If I wipe my visor. Quick wee scan inside. We've got some area for cargo. How great would it be? We've talked about that in other videos about being able to customize these spaces and put beds in it. We've got 2 jump seats for friends and the cockpit area. If I just switch to our internal camera here, and you can see me being all snowy. But this is the internal space. It's quite snug, but that's okay. Nice little roof up here. Yeah, it's nice in here. It's a nice place to be. Okay, so let's close up our back door. Let's get into the cockpit seat, and let's just answer this question. Can you bounty hunt in this ship? It's not an outright no. You probably shouldn't. What you should do is just easier missions if you do want to fight in this ship. But for 406,000, if you're looking for a change of pace, this ship is awesome to fly in atmosphere and low atmospheric flight as well. With power of the engines on, the cockpit's a nice place to be, with the struts not getting in the way. MFDs for days, but you rarely will use the side MFDs. It's really just the two, if we're honest, during combat. Our weapons are split across two firing groups, left click, right click. I'm actually going to keep it that way because, as I say, one set is gimbaled and one set is fixed, which I'll show you when we get into space. Lifting off in this thing is an absolute delight. We'll do a bit of cinematic slow-mo. Raising the landing gears with N on your keyboard is lovely. They lift in and the wings twirl down. How cute and amazing is that? And again, very much Star Trek shuttle vibes we're getting here. Boosting off into the awesome mountains of Yella, I believe we're on. The ship is so much fun to fly. If we have a look at its just profile as it's flying, it's a cool ship. It's a very cool ship. Maneuvering jets are quite responsive as well. It rolls nice in atmosphere. It pitches and yaws quite nicely as well. If we go back into the cabin, so you can see what's going on. So pitch up, pitch down. Yaw left, yaw right. It's not too bad. Strafe boost up, strafe boost down. It's okay, we're in atmosphere. Gets to max speed with the boost. Meh, relatively okay. Max speed, just about getting up. Yeah. Again, in atmospheres, okay. Turning in atmosphere, you're gonna have to use boost to get into that turn. Then it comes around. Then it comes around. And stopping is okay in atmosphere when we bring the nose around using boost. Without using the boost there, very difficult to turn in. But again, just so much fun to fly low as well to the ground because it's so small. You're in no fear of hitting the ground whatsoever. Maybe flying like this you would be, but it's a lot of fun. Then we use the boost to turn it into that turn. Ooh, turn it in, turn it in. There we go. Remember, I'm using keyboard and mouse, so I have to sort of pull the mouse around a couple of times. Yeah, good. Just a beautiful ship. Right, so that's some of the atmospheric flying. We do have a VHRT stacked up, so let's take it into space. As we're doing that, quantum range. This is all just a recap in case it's the first time you're seeing my review in the video. The tank will take you to Microtech from Crusader on one tank. It won't take you back again, but that's very good for a 406,000 pound AUEC credit ship. It will do the Crusader to Hurston run, if it's going to let me get a bead on it. It's not showing you the line, but that's the run there. So it'll do it there and back again, which is good. So it'll do this jump there and back again. Very good for a ship this size. So an excellent system runabout. Great for landing at pads. Excuse me, I overruled there a little bit. Great for landing at pads. Great for docking into other ships. It can fit inside a couple of ships. The Hercules series, A2, C2, and M2. It can fit inside the Carrack. Probably more ships it can fit inside. So yes, quantum drive is very nice. Let me just get into an OM marker here. Oh, that's a cool little camera angle that we've got there. And then jump. Just love this little ship. It's so much fun. Okay. Here we are in space. We get to our top speed. We go full boost. Let's see what our top speed is, how quickly we get there. So again, we've seen ships in the recent days that get to top speed probably a bit quicker than the ship. Its top speed is quite nice for its size. It's nothing like massive. It's not 1.3, 1.2, it's 1.1 and a half, 1,149 meters per second. How quickly does it stop using boost? Now this is the thing. I think it's going to be like some of the other ships where when it gets to around the 600 meters mark, it does slow down a bit quicker. No, it doesn't stop too well. because I think its reverse thrusters aren't very good. Yeah, although I've never looked at those reverse thrusters before under the body like that. Those are cool. That's sweet. But I think if we do the 180 roll, so if we get to top speed... Again, this is just a... like, it's not just a shuttle, but it's a shuttlecraft. It's not meant to be a light fighter or anything like that. You know, we're running it through the paces of a light fighter. Let me just pitch around. Sorry, my mouse hit something there, so that wasn't a very good pitch. And it stops far better when you have the proper engines, and I don't have good use of my boost. When you have the proper engines pointing in the proper way, the proper direction, excuse me, it stops quite nicely. There's old Bru in the cabin. How you doing, Bru? Alright, calm down, calm down. Speaking of weapons, before we go into the fight, so I've got them fixed onto locked at the minute, so they're fixed at the minute, right? Hit G on your keyboard, that goes to auto. I'm just clicking the left click, so that is our gimbaled weapons, and the right click is our fixed. To show you that, evidence of that, I'm going to hit G again, and if you see over here now, sorry, we're on target. So this is left click. That's our front gimbaled. This is right click. See where they're fixed? They're not following the cursor like the gimbals are. So that's the trickiness of having one set of gimbaled and one set of fixed. So when we get in a target, we're going to have 2 pips, right? Regardless of your leader lag, we're going to have 2 pips. So it's up to you, really. Probably what I would do is I would just maybe make them all fixed. I don't know. The gimbals might help us in an extreme situation, but it can be quite distracting. You're going to see that in just a minute. Again, size 1 shield, 4 sets of weapons. For shuttle, default stock is pretty good. Cannons, repeaters. Cannons are the fixed, repeaters are the gimbaled. Alright, let's spool into the fight. Our tactics. Do not stop moving. We're going to be using power triangle quite a bit. In our VHRT ships, we've added a new category. Does it need use of the power triangle a little bit or none at all? This ship will need a lot of power triangle use. That means jumping back between basically 2 pairs. Whenever we've burned all our weapons out like this, so watch the right hand side, see when they go down, we switch to weapons. Once they've recharged, we're back to shields or back to boost, whichever it is we need. If you haven't remapped them, F5 is your weapons on your keyboard. You hold it down. You hear that beep. F6 is engines, F7 is shields, and F8 is for an even power triangle. With this ship, you do not want an even power triangle. However, powers on weapons now, they recharge super quickly. Look how quickly they recharge. Should we put some of the cannons in? Let go. Super quickly. So we don't need to be in weapons for long. That will be to our benefit. Trick with this is, if the main target is a hurricane, we try and take out the adds first so we can focus on the hurricane. Anything else, we focus on the main target. But we'll be killing everything just so you can see how this ship fights. And just for the record, I'm going to be initially putting it on auto. That means the guns that do have gimbals, the guns that are gimbaled, in this case the bulldogs, that's my left click, will have aim assist. And you see the way the pip moved up? So let me deselect. So watch what happens when I target. The pip will move onto the target. Do you see that? That's the gimbals. The other pip is the fixed. So, oh, I'll not hit F. So if I shoot now, the fixed go to that bottom pip. The gimbals move up to the target. So something to bear in mind. So the tactic, what we're going to do is we're going to try and look at this fixed pip. The gimbals will do their own job. Bring the fixed on target and then fire both when they're aligned. That's the trick. We've got a warden. Our default MFDs aren't too bad. We've got shield status, or self status, and we've got target status. Just making sure there's no other nasties about. Ooh, Valkyrie could be nasty. So we've got wardens. The size 5 on the warden will mince our size 1 single shield. Deploying decoys with H. Come on. And we're going to try and then use our maneuverability. We never want to stop. So I'm going to keep power to boost because I don't need power on my weapons. And rolling into the turn, pitching up. Our range is probably going to be around 1,200 meters for these size 1 weapons. Get a bit closer. Let the... I'm just letting the gimbals fire off first. And then I'm bringing in my cannons. Power back to weapons. Watch out that size 5. Rolling back around. Power back to boost. Because my shields are fine at the minute. I'm just using the left click for my gimbals. So this is what I'm saying with gimbal and fixed. It's a bit difficult. Power back to weapons. I'm just rolling and staying behind the warden as much as possible because we've got that maneuverability. Now the warden's nose on, so I'm going to use boost to try and strafe to get in behind it if I can. do not want to be facing that size 5 weapon. And I think I'm facing it again, which is not good. The Warden is counteracting my boost, because I am moving quite quickly, but it's counteracting that. It's hard to see because we're on the dark side. I'm just very conscious of asteroids and things. Try and get some of that fire with both of our sets of weapons. At the minute, I'm just using the laser repeaters quite a bit. And the other thing about the ship when fighting is you do lose sight of the MFDs. The MFDs are telling us sort of where our shields are at, what's going on. I'm just unloading with both weapons. Power back to weapons. Give that a chance to reload. Power back to boost once it's done. Try and hit with both sets of weapons now. And I'm focusing on the square pip as opposed to the right one. Power back to weapons. Roll in. Boost. Power back to shields because we just get a few hits there on us. So we did. And both weapon sets are in. We're not doing too bad. Just using that boost. That shift on your keyboard. Try and stay out of fire. Roll in. Don't strafe. Again, there's the cannons. Power back to weapons. Cannons are in. Or repeaters. Power back to weapons. Let them both recharge. Power back to boost. Then try and get that square on target. And then launch. Getting some hits in. Power back to shield. Try and get some more cannon fire in. But let the gimbals help us as well. Very difficult to fire with both types of aim on, unfortunately. All we can do if we were to restock this weapon is change those gimbal weapons to fixed. You can't upgrade them. And we can't put gimbals on the wings, I don't believe. But for a little shuttle, the Warden is the easiest of the 3 targets at the VHRT. There's the gimbals coming into play now. Then we move across with the fixed wing weapons. You know, I'm not the best pilot in the world. I'm far from the best pilot in the world, but this is okay. This was okay. That wasn't too bad. Alright, let's get our boost back, holding F6. Who have we got here? So we've got the chunkier Valkyrie, with very scary turrets for a ship this size, as in our ship. Power on shields as we begin to go in, putting some of those easier gimbaled weapons in first, then bringing the nose around into the turn. I'm going to try and stay to the arse of the Valkyrie. Power back to weapons. There's the fixed cannons on our wing going in. Now we'll put in the gimbals as well. Again, we don't want to let the Valkyrie go more than 5 seconds without being hit. Now, something like this, I might want to go back to a lead because I'm losing sight, but we'll see on my fixed weapons. The gimbals are fine. Gimbals are doing good. I'm just keeping power on weapons for now. I'm not using too much boost. And I've got this Valkyrie, because we're really tiny, don't forget as well, so the Valkyrie's going to have a harder time physically hitting us because we're absolutely teeny in terms of our like weapon, or our profile of like how much surface area we actually take up to get a hit on. Oh, let me just roll back in here. There we go. And that's another Warden that's firing that big size 5 you heard a second ago. Fire back to weapons. Just use some cannon fire. Trying to bring that square pip into play because that's where the cannon fire is going to land. The gimbals will do their own job for us. We don't need to worry too much about them. Power back to weapons. Okay. Okay, so we took some fire there because the Valkyrie slowed up on us and then came right in. Again, I'm losing sight of my MFDs in the turn, which isn't good. Power back to engines. Putting some of those gimbals in for those more guaranteed hits. Then bring the nose around to get my wing fix weapons in all the time, using W to move forward constantly, then a bit of strafing. I'm trying to get out of the habit of strafing instead, rolling in. That's a Valkyrie down in a shuttlecraft. Retarget the next target. Retarget the next target. This is fun. I'm enjoying taking the shuttle against these VHRT targets. Let's see if we can kill this one a bit quicker now that we've only got one to worry about. I wish it was a bit brighter. We'll try and get it on another side of the moon if we can. Again, I'm strafe turning. That's my bad, but you know, I will always admit I'm not a Top Gun pilot. I'm a new pilot, but I'm trying my best. So bring it up. Use some boost to shift the nose in quicker. Power still on weapons here. And I'm not being the most efficient because I'm probably not, you know, keeping an eye with my right eye as to when the weapons are recharged, you know, when I can use the gimbals versus the fix, or both at the same time if I have the pips where I need them to be. Because I know they recharge super quickly. So I'm losing efficiencies there, but that's okay. Strafe turning at the minute. I need to roll and pull up like this. Use a bit of shift to bring the nose in. This has been kind of fun. This Warden doesn't really know what to do with us in our little shuttlecraft. Really don't. It's bringing its nose in now, but we basically have it banjaxed. So I have been using both of them, you know, gimbaled and fixed. So just so you know, just to be aware that I am conscious that we do have that option. So I'm now going to make a choice for me, and that was lag pip as well, as opposed to default leads, so your camera will look a bit different. I'm going to make a conscious choice just to switch them to fixed, so that there's one pip and see if that's a bit more fun. Can the C8X Pisces bounty hunt? Looks like it can. Looks like it can. We still have to take on the monster that is the Hurricane. That will be the real test, but that felt okay. I was able to get away whenever our shields got hit when I got too close to the target. It was a very pleasant surprise. Okay, let me go get another bounty and see if we can take on the Hurricane. But look, also hydrogen fuel, not too bad. A lot of boosting, a lot of maneuvering. Again, it's a tiny ship. That was fun. Is it going to be a VHRT grinder where you grind mission after mission after mission? No, but the fact that it can even do what it's just done, that was surprising. Alright, let's go and do another mission. Okay, here we go again, entering the belt. Same tactics from last time. I'm going to go into the fight with power to my boost, because I'm probably going to use that to correct some turns and things. This ship is a lot of fun. This ship is a lot of fun. 404,000 credits. If you can spare it, buy the ship. It's fun. It's fun even just as a shuttle, for flying people around or exploring the verse. Good quantum drive is stock, but only a bit of refueling needed if you're going right out to the edges of the Stanton system. You can go into atmosphere really well. You can park it anywhere, really. It's so tiny. But am I discovering that there's also some combat play here? Buccaneer. Ooh, Buccaneers and things would be fun to fight. 3 Buccaneers as an escort to the Warden. Let's see how quickly we can take out the Warden. And then I will try and get you a... whoop. Is it missile? Get hit by a missile in the small ship. Let's see what fighting Buccaneers are like in this little thing. But we do want a Hurricane. I hate Hurricanes, but we do want to have a Hurricane fight. So I've now switched it so that both weapons are on 1 pip. I'm not getting the benefit of the auto-aim and the gimbal. But personally for me, having just both weapons firing off on 1 pip... it's just easier for me to track. So I'm keeping power to weapons. A bit easier, he says, as he misses every shot. And then bringing those faster laser repeaters in. Yeah, it's a bit easier for me, but it's just personal preference. I wanted to show you what it was like stock. Again, I am using lag pips, which means it'll look a little bit different when you're playing on the default lead pips. Which means you'll shoot ahead of the target as opposed to on the body like I'm doing here. Your little reticule will be ahead of the target. Jeez. Okay. Okay, we just destroyed a Warden whenever I changed that setup. Again, completely up to you. Why am I not putting them on the same mouse click? So I'm using a left and a right mouse click. Well, that's just... Now, this will be more interesting with more maneuverable ships. Power back to engines. I'm doing that just because they consume their rounds differently. So I can, shoot one off a little bit if it's like just there now. The repeaters were done. Now the problem is these guys have ballistic weapons, which means they're going to pierce our shields. Remember, our hull HP is like a White biscuit. We don't have a lot of it, so we don't want to get hit by any ballistics. So really, this ship might actually struggle a bit more with the more maneuverable ships. But we'll see now. The hydrogen fuel is being used now. Again, I'm not some Top Gun pilot, so my aiming isn't the best. Ooh, roll, and then boost pitch. Okay, we can move, though. We can move, though, in this little thing. I'm just using some of the cannons to start with. Now, this is where you might actually want to go back to gimbal assist. So let me just do what this. My late father says, if you don't change your mind, you'll change nothing. So let's go in. Yeah, so... gimbals are going to work on the more maneuverable ships here because I can't get the nose round in long enough to get some of those cannon fires in. Fire back to weapons. Bring the nose up. Come on. Yeah, so dancing with the more maneuverable ships is trickier in this thing. Funnily enough, the slower Wardens... well, not funnily enough, I suppose it makes sense. Wardens and Valkyries are no problem at all. Got shield down, but we need to hit it every 4 seconds to maintain this progress. And in theory, I would get more progress if it wasn't jousting, but that means slowing down, and we'll try it. Power back to weapons. Get some of the cannon fire in. Technically, its damage is better. See, when I slow down, I'm starting to get hit. Oh, we get some damage. So yeah, gimbals are working better, on the more maneuverable, or against the more maneuverable ships inside the C8X Pisces. The chunkier, slower ships, I would recommend going all fixed, even though you have a set of gimbals. But this gimbals are working great here. Woo! Alright, alright. Just keeping power perpetually on weapons. Boosting my shields are fine. Just trying to keep some rounds to keep that shield in. Or down. As long as we hit him once every few seconds, that shield will not recharge. We just wait for a moment as they slow down into a turn. Like this. There we go. Oh, I'm taking hull damage because of the ballistics piercing. There's some shield penetration. I'm just going to stop the ship. See if we can lull them in. There we go. And then boost away as we get hit. Okay. Slowing down was a mistake. I don't know if that was a collision death or that was just those ballistics doing enough pierce damage to the shield, because the shield looked to be okay. So don't ever slow down. I said that at the start. I didn't listen to my own advice. Don't ever slow down in the C8X Pisces. So that was me losing patience. If we had patience and continued to joust with that Buccaneer, we would have killed it. Then we'd have to joust with the second and the third, because I think there was 3 all around us. So that was a per pilot skill, but the C8X, that was not at fault there. That was my execution of that tactic. I am really impressed with the C8X. Yet again, I forgot to reset my bloody spawn point to Grimhex, so we're back in Crusader. Let me find you them a Hurricane fight. That's going to be interesting. But there seems to be a tactic there with the C8X. It seems that, yes, it can. Don't stop moving. You might, personal preference, but switch between forcing your gimbal weapons to go fixed if you want the single pip on larger targets. But use the gimbaled weapons on the smaller targets, because you can't bring your wings around your nose quick enough to get the fixed cannons in play. Interesting. Anyway, you're looking at a black screen. I will see you once I'm back in space. As always, unscripted deaths here are entirely intentional, and I bring to you the claim timer for the C8X Pisces, just in case you did not catch that previous video, and it is default, well, 41 seconds. Immediate expedited for 300 bucks. So what another amazing benefit of this little ship, that you can get it back super quickly. Okay, here we are. We're back at the last fight of our video today on the journey we're taking to see if the C8X Pisces can bounty hunt very high risk targets. It can kill Wardens, it can kill Valkyries. It seems to, in my hands anyway, have a little bit of trouble with Buccaneers, either through collision, me standing still, or ballistic weaponry. It's not meant to do any of this, as it's a little shuttlecraft, and those weapons are meant to just cover its fire as it gets the hell out of Dodge. This has been a fun ship to fly today for you. I love it. I love this thing. I love landing in pads and exploring the verse in it. And now, I kind of love fighting in it to a degree. It is the last fight of today. I will take this out again to try and find some Hurricanes if there aren't any here. But here is a atmospheric fight for us together. Because this is a bigger ship, I'm going to lock my gimbaled weapons so I can get 1 pip on it. But if there's more maneuverable ships, there's a Cutlass Black, 2 Cutlass Blacks. So probably not today. We might bring the gimbals out against the Cutlass Black. But again, just to recap, that was my personal preference of just forcing all these weapons to be fixed. So I've got 1 pip. If I go gimbaled now, I've got 2 pips. So there's the gimbal firing, and I need to bring the other pip in to get the actual fixed weapons of the wings firing. So I'll just change that back, because I'd like to have 1 pip, but that's just my personal preference. There we go. Power to weapons, bring us into the turn. In atmosphere, as long as you're using boost, it feels okay. Feels okay. Remember, as long as we hit the Valkyrie once every 5 seconds, power back to weapons, we're good. And we are a small target, so the big Cutlasses are struggling a bit to shoot us. Power back to engines. More rounds in here.
Warning.
Weapons overheating. You should never get that. Must be just those cannons. But that's okay. We'll use some of these repeaters. I need to really not get into a strafing game with this thing. I need to practice pitching, rolling and pitching. Power back to weapons. This is, what much more can I say? This is quite fun.
Shields hit.
Oh, I think we might have had a collision before. If we crash in this thing, we're not going to get... just making sure that those repeaters are hitting their target. Yeah, they are. It's okay.
Target destroyed.
There you go. 20,000 credits. Can the C8X Pisces bounty hunt? Well, I can bounty hunt wardens and Valkyries, no problem at all. There's poor cutlasses are having issues in atmosphere. We are not, though. Power back to engines. We are definitely not having any issues. Let's see if I can draw them away from the security base. So did I get hit by missiles? Is that's what happened there? Was I effing about in third person? I got hit by missiles. And you know, of course, I thought, well, I'll fly over here. And you know what I didn't do? Reset my spawn. It's saying Grimhex, but I didn't reset my spawn. Let's see. Sometimes you can jank it if you log out while it's trying to load you into a bed. Probably not, but we'll see. Okay. So, to recap. Don't stand still. Try not to get hit. And don't look at missiles that are being fired at you. Try and evade them. Try and maybe use some flares or something. Oh, you see, you don't get this with other channels. B. Brukrick B. Brewerson will always give it to you straight, even if it's my balls ups. Let's try one more so you get a good feel of how this ship performs. It does have the hull strength of a bag of crisps or a packet of potato chips, as you might say somewhere else in the world. But it is fun. Just follow some of those steps that I've talked about. Basically, don't be a noob like me, and you should have fun with this ship. One more fight. Let's see how it does. We are back in the belt for a final fight in the C8X Pisces. Can it bounty hunt very high-risk targets? We haven't come across a Hurricane in today's episode, but it can manage Wardens. It can manage Valkyries. Just don't stop moving. It has one size 1 shield. It costs 408,000 AUEC credits from ArcCorp. It's got 4 weapons, 2 all size 1, 2 fixed on the wings, cannons as defaults, 2 gimbaled on the nose, repeaters as default. It's got good maneuverability, top speed of 1,100 meters plus. It rolls well. It has the whole strength of a pair, but it's fun. And as long as you don't do the balls ups I've done, you'll have fun too. We've got another Valkyrie as the target. We have a Hurricane. Okay. Let's take out the ads first of all. Also, we've noticed that it doesn't do too well with maneuverable targets. I'm going to keep a full lock on the bigger target and then switch to weapon to engines, and then we're going to then allow the gimbals to come into play whenever we use power back to weapons. When we go against the Hurricanes, we'll bring the gimbals back out again. Personal preference, but just so I can get 1 pip for these engagements here. Bring it around. Really got to watch our shields with a Hurricane in the vicinity because it will mince us. Power back to engines while we're unloading a clip. Need to kill the ads super quickly. Super quickly. These ads need to go down. Just need to stop strafe turning as well. Come on. Come on. Sorry, I'm just focusing a lot here. Power back to weapons. Then back to engines. Let those shields come up. Stop strafe turning, Bru. Come on. Hydrogen is down because I've just exited Crusader. Don't stay still. Remember what we said. Don't stay still. Come on. Roll into it. Roll around. Don't desync and jump all over the place. Pop a Valkyrie. Power to engines. Or no, weapons even. Roll, turn. Try not to go nose on with it. That's not a good place to be in a little ship like this. Nearly. Woo! Alright, weapons. Nearly. Come on, just let me get this kill. Then we can refocus. There we go. Okay. Power back to shields. We got another Valkyrie to kill, then the Hurricane. Okay, here's where we're at. Let me move my microphone because I can only really see with one eye here. Okay, power back to boost. Now the Hurricane's coming into play, so let's get rid of this other Valkyrie super quick. Power back to engines. We do not want to get in a Valkyrie strafing game, because that is a pain in the arse. Okay, lots of good hits there. Good, 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 good. Boost in. Get those hits in, get those hits in, get the shield down. Come on, fire back to weapons. Roll and turn. Our shields are down. We need to break away. Okay, 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 they recharge quick, that's fine. Put the power in the right place when I needed it. There we go, there we go. Don't know what that warning was for, but that's okay. Because neither of these two ships we're fighting should be able to fire missiles at us. And power back to weapons. And then boost while we're waiting. Back to weapons. Back to boost. Roll it in. Come on, little shuttlecraft. We gotta go back to the USS Bru Prize. We just need to survive against these pirates. The mothership is waiting for us. You can take us home. You can take us home. Come on. Yes. That is satisfying to do in this tiny little ship. That is satisfying to do. Anyway, okay. Right, now we have the real challenge. A hurricane. A C8X Pisces with my terrible medical suit against the hurricane. Let's get everything recharged. Now I'm going to switch back so the gimbals work on that front gun, because I'm not going to be able to bring my nose up quick enough to get enough hits on the hurricane. So now we're going to do it with the multi-pip situation. I kind of might want to change back to lead as well. Well, it's too late. The hurricane's engaging. Alright, here we go. Here we go. I'm going to focus a lot on my gimbaled weapons for this fight. If I can get it slow in some turns, we'll use some of the fixed weapons, like here. It's too far away. That hurricane just went flying past us, so it did. Oh, asteroid. I have the other thing to learn is I have reset my spawn correctly. So we'll reset back to Grim Hex. Just put some rounds in, start working on that shield. Remember, the hurricane shield is made of a substance that can bond together black holes. It can stick them together as if one could take two black holes and use masking tape, packaging tape. The shield strength in a hurricane is the equivalent power if such a thing existed in the universe. So we just need to work on them in our little tiny... See, the gimbals are working great here for a ship that's just so maneuverable, that is the hurricane. Some say... It had... Sorry, I'm focusing. It has the maneuverability of a wildcat combined with a demon devil of some kind. Were we... I totally thought we were crashing there. Remember, keep the hits on. In this sort of fight, we do not want any of that progress to be lost. The gimbals are working great for me in this fight, as opposed to the fixed. Because I don't have to bring the nose all the way up. The gimbals lift up before I have to bring the nose in. Power back to shields. You want patience in a fight like this. Disengage if you need to. Our shields cannot take a lot. My power's on shields currently. Our shields cannot take a lot of hits here. Okay, power back to weapons. Get those gimbals in. Nice work, nice work, nice work. Then the fixed. Just rotate them a little bit, maybe. I'm not being the most efficient with my weapons, but we've got the hurricane, or it's giving us a bit of peace, or I'm just on its arse enough. I wonder will I switch back to fixed. The shields are down. We're doing hull damage on it. We're staying quite nicely on its backside. It hasn't looped around to get us yet. Now it's trying to. When it slows down like that. Let's just try and come in under shields, or engine. Power back to engines. Power back to weapons. Bring that other pip up. As long as we keep the shields down, I'm happy. This is patience game. We're in a shuttlecraft taking on Hades' themselves. Fuel, don't worry about the fuel. Okay, fuel. Fuel's fine in this ship. It's not like a 325 or anything. We don't have to worry too much about the fuel. We're getting red damage on it. Can I hope? Can I dream? Can all the balls up of Bru B. Brewison be forgiven this day? If we, in a shuttlecraft, take out the demon child of the underworld, the hellspawn that is the hurricane. Oh, roll and turn, Bru, roll and turn, don't straight. Now the hurricanes come alive a little bit. The gimbals are my godsend here. We are losing 50% DPS because I'm barely firing the cannons. We're getting them into position, but I don't mind. Patience. Patience, my Bru crew. Patience is a virtue. And we need to get a little bit closer. Oh, yes! Oh, yes! You see what happens when you're not a Bru noob? You can do amazing... Ew, medical suit. You can do amazing things when you're not a Bru noob. In this little, plucky, explorer, shuttlecraft, adventurer, the little shuttle that could, the C8X Pisces can bounty hunt. It probably shouldn't bounty hunt. And look, as we finish the video, it's actually got 2 missiles. It's actually got 2 size 1 missiles. Well, there you go. We'll fire a missile off, will we? Where did that missile? I don't even know where that missile went. Well, you see, I crashed to finish it off. Oh, it smashed into an asteroid. We fire another missile off? I don't know what happened to that missile. Where did the missile go? Anyway. There it is down there. Oh. So there you have it. The C8X Pisces can... Ew, medical suit. Can indeed bounty hunt this day. You only do it for a bit of a laugh to practice your flying. The default stock loadout is fun when you're having multi-pips like that. I found it quite interesting switching to full fixed against the bigger targets, bringing those gimbals into play for the faster targets, because I probably could have tried, like if I went full fixed, tried to bring those cannons into play. But in something like that, I didn't want to have to keep pulling the nose up as high, and you don't need to with the gimbals pull the nose up as high because they will move up for you. They'll track that target. Whew. That was a lot of fun in this little shuttlecraft. Buy it. It's worth it. You will not regret it having it in your arsenal. But for now, my name's Bru Crick. You can call me Shuttle BB Bru. And thank you always for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now, everybody.